Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. I do want to hit on the Big East a little bit. We can talk some Marquette Creighton, but I think it's much more interesting to get into the budding rivalry between Dan Hurley and Rick Pitino. There's a lot of angst there. There was a lot. I think that we've seen them kind of sniping back and forth in the media. Rick Pitino came out and said that they're going to play every game at Madison Square Garden except for UConn, which are going to play at Carnesecca Arena. And then Dan Hurley came out and basically said, well, that's just everyone's trying to come get what we have. I think that you have, I don't know if you would call Hurley a brash young newcomer, but he's definitely brash and he's definitely a newcomer compared to Rick Pitino. Whereas Rick Pitino is
He's
like,
new in the National Championship Coaches Club.
Yeah, he is. And I don't know if Rick Pitino necessarily likes that he's coming in. And I will say this, having two native New Yorkers, and I am going to call Hurley a native New Yorker. Jersey City is effectively New York when it comes to the personality of the people that live there. And having them kind of snipe back and forth in the Big
Would
East.
people be upset with that statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious. Sorry, go ahead.
The New York, Jersey mindset, the tri-state area mindset. Let's call it that.
Yeah, thank you. The people of Jersey City demand more respect. St. Peter's University is not in New York.
Yeah, okay, you're right. But it's the same kind of mind. It's the same. If you're from Jersey City or you're from New York City, you're the same dude, right? You just happen to have been born in a different zip code. Either way, I do think it is a lot of fun watching these two go back and forth. And I hope that over the course of the next 3 to 4 years, this turns UConn St. John's into the kind of rivalry that UConn St. John's should be. If those two coaches hate each other, those are two big personalities, Fanta.
You know, they are. They absolutely are. Dan Hurley's coming off the national title. He's at Connecticut. UConn has they're a blue blood program. And so they're allowed to feel what they want to feel. They're allowed to say what they want to say. You can talk a big talk when you've walked. And guess what? They did more than walk. They dominated. Last April, they won their 5th national championship since 1999. They've earned the right to do all the talking they want. Having said this, on December 23rd, the Saturday night game between UConn and St. John's in Hartford, Rick Pitino, who's now back in the Big East, new to the Big East, to this version of the Big East, he didn't like the idea that in a continual war with the officials, coaches are going to battle with the officials throughout games. Pitino didn't understand how he's in his first year at St. John's, and this guy on the other side is basically running ship in this game. And you could sense that Pitino had issue with Hurleyisms that happen throughout the course of games. Dan Hurley is worth the price of a single camera feed on him in a corner. He's all over the place during games. The jacket will fly off. It'll come back on. He races up in the air. He does all kinds of things. He's got this going on. He's going to the crowd. The point, yeah, he's got the angry faces. Well, Pitino took issue with it being a 71-year-old man who's won national championships, been to, 7 Final Fours. This guy has seen it all. He got pissed. They're both not happy with each other. Pitino says in the press he knows exactly what he's doing, folks. No, he's not scared. He's Rick Pitino. The guy literally was on a milk carton on the news for all tons of negative press for years. He ain't scared of shit. He's seen it all. So, but he says, we're going to play UConn at Carnesecca Arena. Fully damn knowing that Madison Square Garden went, that's a game for us to make money on. We make a gate. What the hell? You're playing it. No, he knows exactly what he's saying. Now, we'll see how this situation evolves. I'd be very shocked if UConn, in fact, is playing at Carnesecca next year. There's going to be cooler heads that prevail and business people that fly in and say, we aren't doing that. We make a gate worth at St. John's. Also, the Big East isn't going to have a lower profile game played on the campus of St. John's. They're going to play that game at Madison Square Garden. But this rivalry is great. It's not good. It's great. It's shades of the 1980s. You have two coaches. This is like Calhoun and Pitino back in the day, right? Or Boeheim and somebody else back in the day. This is Carnesecca, Thompson BS. I think it's all in good fun. It's great fodder. And when St. John's and UConn meet February 3rd at Madison Square Garden, there's going to be some juice inside that building. On Saturdays in the Big East, you'll have Ed Cooley's return to Providence, which we'll be at. And then the following Saturday, you're going to have Pitino and Hurley meet again. And I don't know if they're going to shake hands. We're going to find out. St. John's, interesting to see what that game will mean February 3rd. If you look at any bracketology right now, they're basically first 4 to 8, if not 10 out. They're right around there. Can they make a move to make it interesting in February and be on the bubble? That would be an interesting storyline.
Here's the one thing that I will say is you kind of said like it's all in good fun, right? I think that there's actually legitimate dislike there.
There is.
I love Dan Hurley. I love the way that he coaches. I love his mindset. He has really tapped into the way that UConn fans kind of view themselves as better than everybody else, right? And I mean that respect. Like, look, I am a UConn fan, okay, but UConn fans can kind of view themselves as a little bit holier than thou. And what was the line that Ed Cooley had? It was arrogant and he said something in the press. I can't remember what it was. It was arrogant and something else, but arrogant and entitled, something like that. But it's actually true. Like when you've seen 5 national championships in 25 years on the men's side and 11 national championships in like 25 years on the women's side, you start to carry yourself a certain way. And Hurley has really, really embraced that. And I think that rubs people the wrong way. And when you are Rick Pitino and you're walking into a building and you don't have a coach kind of being like, oh, wow, look at that. That's Rick Pitino over there. I'm coaching against Rick Pitino. Oh, shucks, look at that. I think that kind of bothers him. And then when you see Hurley do his early stuff on the sideline and you're Pitino and you're like, fuck this dude. I think that there's actual dislike between those two guys. And I honestly think that is a great thing. Tia, what are you saying? I think it's a great thing for the Big East. I think it's a great thing for the sport. Let them hate each other. This is going to be awesome.
We talked about McNeese State earlier today. What if we added one more coach to the Big East next year? Fire me up, boys. Fire me up. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, who couldn't see this coming?
Right, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's legitimate dislike. It is. I didn't mean it like it's all in good fun. It's not. These two don't like each other. It's all in good fun for us. This is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, look, if you think ego isn't a massive part of what Pitino does, you're lying to yourself. It absolutely is. And I think the fact that the ego met the ego, and there's some egos in that league, but those two, Hurley coming fresh off a national championship, wearing his hat backwards at Peach Jam, feeling real cute about himself here lately. And then he meets Pitino, whose ego never leaves. And here's the deal. I don't want people to misconstrue that as like I'm saying it's a bad thing. You have to have it in order to be successful in whatever you do. Like to say I don't have an ego would be nuts. To say Fanta doesn't have an ego would be nuts. Rob's ego, if his head got any bigger, he wouldn't fit in the Zoom screen. So like if we were able to I don't say it as a bad thing. I say it as a complimentary thing. But whenever you have 2 billy goats on the side of a cliff, somebody's going to have power of that cliff, and those billy goats are going to run head to head. So that's kind of where I'm at with these two. Like they're going to clash, and there's going to be more clashes throughout the course of this Big East basketball season.
If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD200 and you will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly when placing your first wager of at least $10 with BetMGM. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD200. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game regardless of sport. You will receive $200 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Just make sure that you use the bonus code FIELD200 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today. All right, Tio, here's what we're going to do. Take number 2. I need another comparison. You want Billy Goats? What else you got? I know you got something else in there.
All right. No, you want another Billy? No, they're Billy Goats.
Yeah,
they're
old.
Another one. They're old stuff.
He wants another comparison.
Give me another comparison.
Between the other two?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. I'll find something. You can't just pop that on me, Rob. You gotta have me going. They're 2 billy goats on the side of a. You ever seen these billy goats that get up on their two back legs and then they whack? That's those two.
Yeah.
That's those two. Yeah.
No, you're 100%
I'm excited.
Right.
I'm just.
It's going to be great.
I can't. I mean, now the egos, the personalities. It's that Big East race is going to now with Klingen out as well. That kind of creates a different dimension to it, and so it's going to be. You just know that league's going to pick up hype as the Big East tournament rolls around, and after a bit of a up and down start to the season, right now they're looking at, I'd say, 5 tournament teams, and then we'll see what happens on the bubble watch.
I think they get 6. I think get to 6.
I think they'll get 6.
Yeah. So give me Villanova, Providence, Marquette, UConn, and Creighton are all dancing.
Yes.
Right? And I think one of St. John's or Butler will be good enough to get there. Honestly, like if you look at what St. John's has done so far this year, here's who they've beaten. They beat North Texas, which is going to go down as a good win. They beat Utah, which is going to go down as a quad 1 win. They've won at West Virginia, which is going to go down as a quad 2 win. They got losses, Michigan at home, which might not look very good by the end of the year, but it wasn't bad when
they suck.
Yeah. Dayton on a neutral, Boston College on a neutral, UConn on the road. You get to 10 wins, which is very doable for St. John's in the Big East, and you pick off one of the big boys, they're dancing. It's Rick
Wait a minute.
They're going to
hold on a second. I was told in 10 days into the season, got in a huge argument on this show in a hotel room when I said, ease up, hold on, give it some time. Let's not call off the dogs. If there's 6 teams that make it, I demand an apology.
Yes. How many teams do you think are going to make it from the ACC? Hey, Tio, what happened to UVA on Saturday?
I wasn't going to bury the ACC.
No, I just want to know. I wasn't. It was New Year's Eve. I wasn't really paying attention on the 30th, like that weekend. I just wasn't locked in this weekend. What happened to UVA? Did you happen to see the score over the weekend?
Dude, Notre Dame body bagged them. I don't know what's going on.
Notre Dame beat them. What happened to Florida State?
All right.
Florida State's never been a part of the conversation. I don't even know why you bring them up.
Okay, so there's 3
Watch out
teams.
For Wake.
There's 3 teams at the bottom of the ACC. They're just not part of the conversation. There's only
That's what I've been saying all year. There's
only 2 teams in the Big East that are not part of the conversation.
That's what I've been saying, Rob. I've said that all year. There's 3 teams at the bottom of the league that aren't a part of the conversation. I've said that all year.
Wait a minute, though.
Hey, T.O. Has DePaul beaten anybody that's projected to win the Big East by 22 points?
Okay. Rob, also.
T.O.'s getting mad at me now.
I'm not getting mad.
Wait a minute,
I don't have the backup right now, so I don't.
Terrence, I'm not
pulling stuff up.
I'll back you up. Wake Forest is a dark horse. They could use a win at Boston College. I like them. The top of this league's very good. Duke's getting better, guys. Duke gets better by the week. Clemson's, you all know what I think about Clemson. It's tough for Virginia, but this league will hang in and can get 5 teams. They can. Virginia Tech is I'm not ready to write them away. And Wake Forest, BC, the winner's going to be 10-3. And guys, don't sleep on Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh to knock off North Carolina. Ooh. There, I said it. There's a tasty pick for you. So see, Terrence, I am trying to back you up. And I would say this. You were 2-on-1. So here's the deal, Rob. You were talking down the Big East in week 2 of the season as well. But the thing was, everybody was saying it in relation. We all thought this was going to be like 5 teams in the top 20. Okay. Now the AP poll screwed up as it is.
Yeah, right? They need to reevaluate who they give those to.
Yeah, we got to stop looking at the rankings and then equivocating that to how great we think something is. Like the Mountain West is better than what the rankings would indicate. It's all brand name. My point is, I think the Big East, just because some of the teams in it weren't as great as we thought they would be, doesn't mean they went from that level to not even making the NCAA tournament. See what I mean? I think that this league is going to have a couple of top-tier seeds in Marquette and UConn. To me, guys, Creighton's curious. They're 0-2 in the Big East for the first time in 9 years. How does Creighton respond? Talk about it. If I could have one transfer go back to a school and they would both agree on it, it'd be Ryan Nembhard going back to Creighton. Because Nembhard at Gonzaga, good player. Nembhard tasted the Elite Eight at Creighton. He ain't going to taste the Elite Eight this year.
Right.
Grass isn't always greener. But the Big East is in a good place. I'll tell you what, Thad Matta, I give him an immense amount of credit. His Butler team is much better.
Yes.
Much better. They should have won at Providence. They were
right.
up.
What did Posh Alexander say? Golly.
No, Thad came out in the press and said Posh Alexander didn't know how to play help defense when he got here.
I believe that 100%.
So Posh told Thad that he did not watch film at St. John's.
I believe that too.
Mm-hmm.
He's been all instincts for however many years he's been there. And
hey, did you see what he did to Bryce Hopkins when he hit him with a sham god in Providence? He hit Bryce Hopkins with a sham god and had a dime to who was I don't want to throw the big guy under the bus, but he threw it to one of his big guys.
Andre Screen,
who smoked the layup, T.O. He hit Bryce with a sham god.
Oh,
Bryce
Tom.
goes off. Bryce is off in he's already on Federal Hill. He's at his dinner reservation after this move. And then he hits him with this little no look like this, and the dude smoked the layup. And I've never I was mad for Posh. I was ready to cuss this dude out. How do you can't miss that layup? He just hit him with a sham god in the building that Sham God built. And you missed the layup? What are we doing here, man?
Do you think that he put 2 and 2 together? Like, I'm going to do the sham god in the sham god house.
Absolutely 100%.
No shot.
100%. Do you think he knows who God Sham God is, or do you think he just assumes?
I do think he knows who God Sham God is.
Is it Sham God's a New York City kid?
That's what I'm saying.
Posh is a New York City kid. I'm telling you, he knew it. I guarantee he thought about that heading in.
I just don't think. I think Posh is. I don't think Posh is necessarily a thinker. I think he's an instinctual guy. I think he just does stuff. LaMelo Ball's the same way for what it's
worth. I know. Look, I'm laughing because I could clip that a certain way and make it sound really bad for you when you're actually just complimenting the dude in the way that he plays.
Yeah, he's not a thinker; he's a doer.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.